GM's counterattack was an inside job. Hello YouTube, it's Kurosama, and here I have the Ninpulse, and we're finally doing the pose video. So, what is the pose video? Well, the pose video is essentially me just posing up a Gundam and just showing y'all some different kind of poses that it can actually accomplish. And if you like it, go ahead and mimic it. If not, maybe create your own. But we're gonna do 3 different poses today, none of which is actually gonna be like a standing, just static pose. It's gonna be doing some kind of action of some sort. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. So here all I did was throw out that leg. It's a little bit hard to throw a little pivot into that angle. That's the furthest I can actually make it with that. Then the other leg, you're gonna just keep that one balanced like so. You can kind of just bend the torso away from the actual waist. So could just kind of have them twisted in 2 different directions, as you can see. And then just kind of throw the arm right in front of the face. Now if you have some different hands, I would have open hands for this one right here, and then for the back one you can still have its normal hand, the one that's just an open palm, kind of keep, not open palm, but kind of like a gripping hand, and then have that one kind of just holding the shuriken right in front of it as if it's going to be throwing it at any minute. This is a really cool pose. This is something I would actually have on my shelf. So if you're kind of like looking into a pose, I would say this is really awesome, but you will need a stand, which it does actually have one. It comes with the stand. This one's a Figma one, but it does have a normal stand that it does come with, so you can go ahead and utilize that if you do wish. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is do the second pose. And first we're going to actually take down the shuriken, and we're going to make it into the backpack form, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with the rest of it. Okay, so now that the backpack's broken down, let's go ahead and get into its pose. Okay, so here we are. The only thing that I was really thinking about was how can I do a kind of like a dashing slash attack. I think this is okay for just kind of like quickly doing it. I didn't really plan this one, but all I really did was make the backpack, spread out these little wings or whatever you want to call those little binders. So I spread those out and kind of give it more of like, hey, it's an actual like looking backpack. So it's kind of like thrusting out there. I'm hoping, or I'm kind of figuring that that's what gives it more propulsion is through those binders. And then he's gonna have these little kind of like, I guess forearm swords. What were they called? Butterfly. Yeah, butterfly swords. The phantom butterfly swords. He's gonna be having these pretty much already deployed, and he's coming out like he's about to start slashing. Obviously one knee kind of bent up, and then the other leg just kind of pushed back as if he just jumped out and went ahead and dashed. So this is kind of like the one I really like. Looks like he's kind of coming from the side of his enemy, and it looks, to me, it just looks pretty dope. So this is another pose I would actually have on my shelf because I like it. Maybe you can go ahead and bring the head down just a little bit, like a little bit of a head tilt, if you want to play around with that. But the bottom jaw is really going to get in the way, so you might have some issues with that. But other than that, I think it looks fine, looks pretty cool. And let's go ahead and move on to the third one. Okay, so here I have the kit With its power axe, I really wasn't planning on doing anything with the power axe because I do think it's still a fairly silly weapon for it to have. But when I started like kind of messing with it, I really do like the whip aspect. The axe I'm still not completely sold on, but I do like this little whip part. I think it looks pretty cool, and I kind of want to, I'm kind of thinking like someone is coming at him with like a beam saber, and I would say that this can be used as kind of like a defense mechanism. It just really depends if this itself is a beam or like what kind of mechanism this is, because I don't remember seeing this in the GM's counterattack. I would probably have to watch it again, but this looks like it's going to be a solid piece. I just went ahead and painted that black. But I think this little part right here, this little green part, needs to be painted black as well. However, I just went ahead and painted the top little kind of kunai looking part black, and it looks like he may be just defending himself. Like if someone's coming at him with a beam saber, then it can possibly use to deflect it or something of the sort. So you don't really have to go too crazy with this. I mean, you can kind of be a little more dynamic if you want, but I'm just imagining him just hovering around, and then someone's coming at him and he decides to go ahead and block it. Now the backpack, you can keep the backpack the way it is. If you want to kind of keep it open like I have mine, you can definitely do so. Or you can go ahead and take the backpack off completely. Either way is really like no harm, no foul. And then I'm using the butterfly sword to actually help keep that backpack up, because if you don't have this behind it, or if you don't like use glue or something to really tighten up the joints, the backpack's gonna be so heavy it's gonna weigh down the joint and it's just gonna kind of flop down. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit by putting that right behind it. By putting that right behind it, so that way it can definitely keep that backpack held up. This is also a really cool pose that I would probably want to put in my collection. So, not in my collection, but put on my shelf. And as you can see, it's pretty back heavy, so you're gonna have to kind of position it to where it's not really just gonna fall down if just moved very gently. Well, that's it, guys. That was the last pose. So I really hope you enjoyed this little series of mine. If you do want to keep seeing these, just let me know in the comments below. If you have a go-to pose, let me know what it's like. If it's something that's like a more slashing, or if you like something that's more dashing, or however you want to kind of word it. Let me know in the comments below as well. And as always, guys, definitely rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on this kit. If this is something you really like to have, or if it's something that's just not really your style, then let me know. And everything else, just go ahead and stay tuned for the next review. I'll see y'all later. Bye.